Welcome to Vegan Finds. This is the continuation of Korea Week, and tonight's dish is going to be a vegan version of Kimchi Jjigae, which is a stew that's made with kimchi. We're going to be adding a whole bunch of mushrooms, some zucchini, obviously some tofu to this. Mushrooms and the tofu will be adding the protein portion of our meal. A lot of non-vegans are very concerned with where we get protein from. Well, my friends, it's from these things right here. It's from tofu, it's from beans, it's from pretty much anything that that vegans eat typically has a available source of protein. You don't have to worry about that, folks. I'm here to tell you I am not lacking in any kind of protein intake. So we're going to get started by making the initial base for this, sauteing up some of the vegetables and the kimchi. We're going to be using a very large quantity of kimchi. This should be a nice spicy dish, so if you like spicy, you should like this. Okay, so into my pan I'm going to add just a little bit of avocado oil. The recipe traditionally calls for sesame oil, but my wife right now is not feeling sesame oil all that much. I'm going to add one large onion to this, start sauteing that up. Got a little bit of green onion in there as well. Going to add that to the pot. And while that's starting to saute, I'm going to chop up some kimchi that's going to also go into the pot. So to my pan, I'm going to be adding 1 pound of kimchi that's been chopped and some zucchini that's been chopped as well. I'm going to give that a quick stir. Little steamy, smells good though. I think I may add a little more kimchi to that, so I'm going to chop up some more. And I know you guys are waiting with bated breath to see the canopy kimchi episode. I promise you that is coming. I have to do some editing on some of the other videos because the battery in the mic went kaput, and I had to replace it and didn't realize that until I had already filmed 2 whole episodes. So that's going to be fun doing the voiceovers. I feel like if I got like a famous guy to do the voiceovers, it might be funnier. Maybe get Seth MacFarlane to do it. That would be really good. He could do it in his Peter Griffin voice. Lois, I think it needs a little more kimchi. Okay, so we got that. Now I'm going to start adding some of the flavoring components to this. So one ingredient we haven't talked about is doenjang, which is a seasoned fermented soybean paste. I'm adding a ½ tablespoon of that to this. I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of the gochujang, which you've seen, and I'm using the O Foods version of it. So 1 tablespoon goes in there, and then I'm going to add a 2 teaspoons of gochugaru, which is the red pepper flakes that go into pretty much everything that's Korean. This is a staple. The way we would use salt, they use this stuff. Let me tell you, they like their food hot. Our food doesn't come anywhere near rivaling what they would normally eat. But at the end of the day, you got to kind of follow your own taste buds here. As time goes on, I think people tend to find that they like spicier and spicier things. Well, this is smelling really good. So from here, I'm just going to let it cook a little bit longer. Let those flavors blend together a little bit. And then we're going to get the simmer going. And in the simmer, we're going to be adding a quarter cup of the kimchi brine, 3 cups of vegetable stock, a little bit of maple syrup to add a little sweetness. Then we're going to start adding the mushrooms and the tofu. I have the tofu. I'm pressing it right now, so I'm going to use a block of that and add it to the pot. So I'll be right back with the stock and get this whole thing rolling. Okay, so I'm adding the quarter cup of the brine, and I'm going to add the 3 cups of vegetable stock right now. Okay, so I've added my 3 cups of veggie stock. I may end up adding some more to this. I'm not 100% sure yet. We'll see how much liquid is left once this is done simmering. So the next step that I need to do is to add the mushrooms and the tofu. So, I almost forgot the 2 teaspoons of 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. I'll be right back with that. Okay, so I have my maple syrup. I'm adding that to the pot here. Just going to give it a little stir. Okay, so I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of vegan fish sauce. Normally you'd add like a piece of kombu. I don't have any. Doris is not a huge fan of kombu. Probably stems from the fact that she has a seafood allergy. So anything that kind of reminds her of the fish is a bit scary for her. So I'll be back in a moment with the mushrooms and we'll finish this off. Okay, so you can see I got different varieties of mushrooms in here. I've got some beech mushrooms, I got some shiitakes, I've got some creminis in there. Now it's time to add the tofu. My wife likes it cut fairly thick. I, on the other hand, do not. So we often have disagreements over the size of the tofu. One thing I will tell you is that if you're new to tofu, press it. It makes a huge difference. So I'm hoping that these chunks are big enough for my wife. I don't know, but they are going into the pot as well. Ooh, almost lost my toe there. So we're going to let that cook for a little while. And we'll be back when this is done. Okay, so I got the tofu in. The final step is to cover and let this simmer for about 10 minutes, which is what I'm going to do. And once it's simmered for 10 minutes, it'll be done. I'll plate it up. We'll add some green onions to the top, a little bit of sesame seed, and that is basically our kimchi jjigae. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I hope I am. And if I'm not, I'm sorry. So I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so the kimchi jjigae is done and it's ready to be plated up. So I'm going to grab a couple bowls, finish it off, show you the plated product, and then I'm going to enjoy dinner. It's been a long time in coming. I haven't had dinner since yesterday. So okay, folks, there you have it. A completed bowl of kimchi jjigae. I'm looking forward to tasting it. This one's going to my wife, and hope you enjoy. So if you like these videos, please click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, leave a comment, give a thumbs up, and just enjoy what you can. Again, if you have any suggestions, we're all open to hearing them. We love everybody's comments, even the obnoxious ones. They do amuse us. So we'll be back tomorrow with, I think, one more Korean dish. I think we got one more left in us.